Breaking news this morning. I understand that Stephen Donnelly, the Minister for Health, has made an announcement that there is going to be an inquiry into the Epilim or Valproate scandal. Now, just for those of you who may not be up to speed with this, for many, many years in this country, pregnant women were being given this sodium valproate medicine, unaware of the risks that it actually posed. It's a drug that's used to treat epilepsy, bipolar disorder and migraines. But sadly, it has been found that babies, unborn babies, were affected and as a result after birth suffered a range of problems, including cognitive difficulties, learning disabilities, autism, as well as some neurodevelopmental delays. Rose Conway-Walsh has been long shouting from the top of the hills to have an inquiry into this whole Valproate or Epilim scandal, and she is delighted at the news this morning that Stephen Donnelly is to commence an inquiry as to what actually happened. Rose Conway joins me now. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, Tommy.
Good news.
Indeed, it is good news. It's been a long, long journey. Some of them here call me the Valproate woman. But for the last 4 years, I have been working with the families on this issue of the scandal that happened around Valproate. And there's up to 1,250 children who were born between 1975 and 2015 who experienced some form of neurodevelopment delay after using this drug, this epilepsy drug, sodium valproate, while they were pregnant. So it really is good news. It's a very exciting day. So I've been on the phone all night and all morning to the families that are impacted by this, and it's certainly I welcome this announcement. It's been a long journey.
What happens now?
So we have to see what shape the inquiry is going to take now, and I suppose that's the next step in looking at what the terms of reference are going to be, because what we want to know is who knew what, when they knew it, and why nobody did anything about it, because there was gathering evidence all over the years since 1975 to say what the impact of taking this drug was while women were pregnant, and the anguish that families have gone through is just untold. We'll have the inquiry now, but we have to see the shape of that inquiry, and we have to make sure that the terms of reference are what the families want.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, Rose, but am I right in saying that GPs prescribed this particular drug to pregnant women who suffered with epilepsy?
They did indeed, yeah. It's also used to treat some other conditions, but in the main epilepsy, and they never knew, and that's the problem, is they never knew. And these drugs were given out to the mothers without any instruction or without any advice or without any warning that this could happen. And some families have ended up with children who have disabilities, sometimes 2 and 3 children even within the one family.
Do you know, obviously it's just been announced last night late that he is going to get an inquiry up and running. I mean, history shows that these inquiries take a long time.
They do indeed, and they cost a lot of money. And I suppose what we need for it to be is to be streamlined. All of the evidence is there. I have gone through the evidence over the years with the families. There's an awful lot of evidence, not only from this country, but from the UK as well, and from France in particular. And they've had an inquiry in France, and they've set up a compensation scheme and some other initiatives as well. What was significant is when last July an independent inquiry into the use of the drug in the UK was brought about, and we had the results of that in March under Baroness Cumberledge, and she was absolutely appalled by the findings of that. So I suppose the government here are late to react to this or to do something about it. But I suppose we have to take, Stephen Donnelly did say a couple of years ago that he was 100% certain that there needed to be an inquiry. So we have to acknowledge now that he has announced the inquiry, and hopefully the details of the inquiry will find out the truth for these families once and for all. And you can never compensate what's happened to them, but there needs to be redress for these families as well. So hopefully that will work out. And I suppose there's a job of work, and certainly there's a job of work for me to continue on doing, to make sure that that inquiry delivers the truth, and that there's no cover-up, there's no further cover-up in relation to the prescribing of Valproate in the way that it was. And I very much want to acknowledge the families that, for never giving up. They never gave up. And particularly, I suppose, one of the parents who is chair of Oaks Ireland, Karen Keeley, I've had long conversations with her into the night around all of this. And also I want to acknowledge the work of Epilepsy Ireland in bringing us to where we are today.
Okay, well, I know, as I say, it's been a long struggle for you, because you've been talking to me about this for, I'd say, at least 4 years, if not more.
I have, and it just goes to show you never give up.
Yeah, and I can feel the delight in your voice this morning, which is great to see. Listen, Rose, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tommy.
Okay,
good morning.
And it's Rose Conway-Walsh, Sinn Féin TD for Mayo, on that announcement by the Minister for Health, Stephen Donnelly, last night, that there now will be a public inquiry into the Valproate or Epilum scandal. So we will be following that, no doubt, over the next number of months.